Now we're getting started. Here's the first of our 2 mace bearers beginning the ceremony. The centenary mace bearer is usually a staff member who has volunteered to take part in the ceremony. The mace bearer enters through the back of the Great Hall and leads a procession of staff to the stage. The Esquire Beadle, who is the second of the 2 mace bearers, follows. The maces are placed on stage for the duration of the ceremony.
It gives me the greatest of pleasure to declare this congregation open.
Well, good morning and welcome to Birmingham. It's great to see so many of you here. My name is Hugh Adlington. I'm Pro-Vice-Chancellor for Research, and it's my pleasure to welcome you, our graduands, and your friends and family and supporters to your graduation ceremony. We're all here today to celebrate you, your hard work, dedication, and resilience. Today marks the culmination of this part of your educational journey. You chose the University of Birmingham because you wanted to be part of a vibrant community in a fantastic city which champions excellence, fosters innovation, and encourages a thirst for knowledge. During your time at Birmingham, we have emerged from a global pandemic which has impacted our lives in ways that we could never have imagined. We have witnessed the terrible invasion of Ukraine and the ongoing war, and we have and continue to experience significant cost of living challenges at home. In times like these, the power of relationships is crucial. As a university, we see this power in our partnership with Ivan Franko University, Lviv, which is helping to support the conservation of Ukrainian higher education. We see it as we host academics fleeing war and conflict from many parts of the world. And we see it as we work with our guild to support students in managing the cost of living crisis. Your journeys to reach this point will almost certainly not have been what you were expecting. They will have been journeys marked by challenges and growth, moments of doubt and moments of inspiration. But you are here today, having overcome all obstacles and having achieved your goals nonetheless. Just for a second, stop and consider what you have achieved. Your stories may all be different, but they will have common threads. You have explored new ideas and experienced the thrill of intellectual discovery. You have tackled seemingly insurmountable problems and overcome them. You have met new people who have inspired you in many ways and made friendships that will last a lifetime. You have expanded your horizons, challenged assumptions, and developed the critical thinking skills necessary to thrive in the world that awaits you. I hope that you look back on all of this with a huge sense of pride. Today is an important step in your journey, a moment to celebrate the tenacity, determination, and drive you have shown to reach your goals. You now have the opportunity to apply your expertise to make an even bigger difference. Those of us sitting on this stage are looking to you to address the needs of our world now and in the future. No pressure whatsoever. Indeed, the need for individuals like you has never been greater. In today's rapidly changing world, with society facing complex and interconnected challenges, you are the leaders and the innovators who will shape our future. It is our hope that your time here at the University of Birmingham has equipped you with the tools you need to embrace this role with compassion, understanding, and confidence. Your actions have the power to make a difference, and you can choose to make that difference a positive one. So, as you embark on the next step on your path, let us take a moment to recognize those who have been instrumental in your success so far. Sitting behind me are just some of our university community who have encouraged your intellectual curiosity, nurtured your creativity, and inspired you to question and explore. You have also been supported in myriad ways by the tutors and student support teams around you. I'd like to offer you then the opportunity now to thank everyone who has supported you during your time here. Let's give them a big round of applause. And sitting in front of me here in this great hall and watching live online around the world with cameras and I dare say tissues at the ready are your friends, family, and supporters who are so proud of everything you have achieved. You will all have that person or those people who believed in you, people who supported you and showed you kindness, and without whom you wouldn't be here. So, graduands, let's give a big round of applause to say thank you to all of your supporters and the people who made it possible. Soon you will come up onto this stage and Lord Bilimoria will admit you to your degree. This is your moment. When your name is read out, that will be your graduation. And family and friends, that is your cue to make a lot of noise. So, be careful on the steps, give a big smile for the cameras, and don't forget to savor your moment. Thank you.
Now for the handing of the scrolls. The graduands will walk from the left of the stage to the centre and collect their scroll from the conferring officer. After they're congratulated, they'll walk off stage.
My name's Professor Bill Chaplin. I'm the head of the School of Physics and Astronomy. Chancellor, to you and to the university, I present the names of these graduands, as listed in my programme, proved worthy to be admitted to their respective degrees.
By virtue of my authority as Chancellor, I admit those persons listed in the programme, both in attendance and in absentia, to the degree for which they are to be presented.
College of Engineering and Physical Sciences, School of Chemistry, Doctor of Philosophy. For research into molecular dynamic simulations of the Hofmeister effect on polymer brushes, Helen Elizabeth Abbott. For research into cancer detection using luminescent nanoparticles, Sarah Ogunfego Akpanasa. For research into the preparation and application of aromatic nitrogen-containing compounds, Alia Musa E. Alatabi. For research into a new class of materials with potential use in energy technologies and waste remediation, Joseph Allen Barker. For research into methods to prepare nitrogen-incorporating molecules, Harry Bird. For research into label-free optical sensors for measuring proteins, Hazel Jade Dixon. For research into in silico design of the self-assembly of gyroid-based colloidal crystals with potential applications as chiral photonic crystals, Wesley Flavel. For research into accessing novel chemical space for early-stage drug discovery, Elena Claudia Gini. For research into the use of metal-catalyzed transformations to access scaffolds for drug discovery, Laura Hamouche. For research into the phenomenon of ion-catalyzed graphitization, Robert Hunter. For research into optical biosensors, Elisabetta Labella. For research into the electrocatalysis of carbon dioxide in aqueous brines and sub-zero temperatures for energy conversion in space, Elizabeth Sargent. For research on development of novel nanoparticles for detection and therapy of cancer, Luke Watson. Master in Science, Chemistry, Alexander Barlow. James Anthony Batten. Hannah Blakiston. Robert David Lumsden Campbell. Dennis Sekrezi. Emily Cramp. Catherine Lucy Devison. Michael Robert Foster. Daniela Christine Haste. Ewan Pattinson. Rihanna Edna Marie Roberts. Louis Roach. Jenna Louisa Seal. Charles Seymour. Ellen Marion Tate. Adam Taylor. Daniel Thomas. Stephen Walker Griffith. Aaron Wellman. Jacob Wells. Sophie Wright. Chemistry with a Modern Language, Lauren Ann Senkiv Smith. Chemistry with Industrial Experience, Angarad Erin Breach. Kiran Kaur Benning. Daniel George Sherwin Buckledy. Jamie Cook. Ryan Eads. Jennifer Garland. Lucy Hublinkova. Matthew Christopher Horwood. Lauren Nicole Josie. Angus Joyce. Gershwinder Kaur. Hannah Kerr. Olivia Manning. Paulina Malinska. Ian Nixon. Joseph Michael Parry. Sophie Ray. Jessica Sylvester. Daniel Stimson. Hayley Strain. Lucy Anna Watts. Chemistry with Study Abroad, Elizabeth Jane Evans. Hannah Patel. Bachelor of Science, Chemistry, Atika Kazim Ali Abdul Rasul Aladina. Victoria Aliou. Annabelle Armstrong Kemba. Kieran Nicholas Brevin. Olivia Campbell. Reese Coomer. Anna Davis. Andreas Giglio. Thomas Alexander Hayward. Kai Jutler. Heather Francis Cright. Qian Liu. Xinglu Liu. Harriet Jane Manley. Halima Sama Nadeem. Gagandeep Singh Nandra. Naomi Owolabi. Joseph Papanikolaou. Eloise Ross. Danielle Tumbos. Lauren Imani Vidal. Vinnie Vince. Moyen Wang. Harry Ware. Neve Elizabeth Webb. James Wilkes. William James Wyatt. Connor Wynne. Yun Hao Xia. Gajani Yuganandan. Medea Shong. Chemistry with a Modern Language, Camilla Rufer. Chemistry with Business Management, Warisara Panwang Sagan. Chemistry with Pharmacology, Nazra Segal. School of Physics and Astronomy, Doctor of Philosophy. For research into decays of the neutral pion particle, Thomas William Bache. For research into plasmonic nanostructures and their interaction with quantum emitters, Callan James Bedingfield. For research into non-relativistic QCD using quarkonia and tetraquarks at the LHC, Naomi Cook. For research into electronic properties of nanomaterials at low temperatures, Rose Davis. For research into nanomaterials for photothermal therapy, Zhutao Gua. For research into a comprehensive model of radars and the impact of phase noise on performance, Jithin Kananthara. For research into modeling populations of stars using hierarchical probabilistic methods, Alexandra John Little. For research into quantum simulation with mechanical metamaterials, Enrico Martello. For research into rare decay modes of the Higgs boson, Antonio Manuel Mendez Yacaz da Costa. For research into laser stabilization systems for the application of quantum devices outside of the laboratory, Freya Joanne Owen. For research into rare and flavor-violating decay modes of the Higgs and Z bosons, Robert James Ward. For research into the formation of metallic nanoparticles, Uchia. For research into atomic scale nanostructures, Haolu Zhao. Master in Science, Physics, Joshua Askew. Soren Austin. Gunnar Eigen. Cyrus Azimikov. Harry George Badnell. Felix Herbert Drew Bayliss. Samuel Blacker. Lewis Bradley. Thomas Brogan. Lucy Megan Brown. Catherine Byrne. Amelia Chick. Maxwell James Conroy. Jacob Richard Cook. Morgan Dryhurst. Isabel Duke. Iman Faisal. Maria Inez Faria Mendez. Daniel Harris. Charles John Hawkins. Dominic Stewart Hurd. Matthew Holland. Lewis Jackson. Morgan Henry James. Daniel Thomas Lang. Santiago Lopez. Nat Mendelsohn. Joseph Miller. James Michael Richard O'Brien. Oliver Thomas Owen. Andrew Michael Pierce. Joshua Roberts. Jehan Nebi Sam. Emily Shackleton. Jordan Lee Shelton. Catherine Siddle. Grace Skagg. Christopher Joseph Sumner. Tunasu Tasaguzal. Rebecca Walters. George David Williams. Elliot Wood. Physics International Study, Elinka Butsu. Noor Nejwa Ajikin Nizali. William David Roberts Percy. Physics and Astrophysics, Tyler Brown. Daniel Alexander Huheko. Bradley Chibado. Iona Denisa Cristescu. Saskia Hawkins. Christopher Lentil. Ben Patterson. Andres Ignacio Ponte Perez. Stephen Dipesh Ramnakal. Madison Grace Scott. Joshua Smith. Daisy Amber Turner. Physics with Particle Physics and Cosmology, Dorothea Beskid. Alexander David Brooks. Mate Stefan Philippe. Lewis Kilbride. Tess Lillicrap. Katie Louise Wilkinson. Physics with Year in Computer Science, Thomas Hawkins. Parin Vadgama. Theoretical Physics, Henry George Androluch. Oliver Ashfield. Judith Blamire. Miriam Braithwaite Davies. Naomi Gonsal. Alfred Gard. Sean Christopher Mitchell. Matthew Robert Phillips. Samuel Pickering. Laura Emily Walsh. Theoretical Physics and Applied Mathematics, Miles Bishop. Joseph Morris. Hector Puerta Ramisa. Bachelor of Science, Physics, William Atkinson. Thomas John Ayling. Benjamin Batho. Yuran Chen. Daisy Ann Collins. Joseph Curtis. Dylan Evans. Alexandra Massio Evans. Samuel Hastings. Thomas James Mark Hobson. Max Edward Hunt. Jack Adam Johnson. Edward Anthony Lacey. Sophie May Lake. Matthew Thomas Major. Thomas Henry McCann. Dominic Mould. Jake Neville. Thomas James Alexander Peake. Archie Pick. Charlie Pinder. Jack James Plinston. Josephine Adele Delsey Poole Jones. Jai Singh Rihal. Kitty Megan Reeves. Thomas James Ross. Alexandra Shonrock. Emily Turner. Ella Victoria Westcott. Eve Williams. Georgia Elizabeth Wilson. Ru Hao Shong. Physics with International Study, Ahmed Alamin. Samuel Eve Morrissey. Sanchi Simrat Kaur Sehgal. Physics and Astrophysics, Marlena Holloway. Aidan Peter Mackay. Tom George Shepherd. Roman Sinovich. Mitchell Luke Walker. Physics with Particle Physics and Cosmology, Andrew Stewart Briggs. Adam Michael Darlow. Nina Mary Richardson. Theoretical Physics, Bogdan Stefan Agrici. Charlotte Brad. Cara Clark. Luke James Collins. Wenyi Du. Cameron Lewis. Daria Mihaila. Dylan Naylor. Nicolo Peron. Theoretical Physics and Applied Mathematics, Adam Clark. Jack Grayson. Elizabeth May Salmon. Just before I introduce our student representative, just a reminder that after the ceremony, there will be photographs at the steps of the old library, so that's for both physics and chemistry. And then there are receptions as well, so in chemistry, the reception is in the Howth building on the ground floor. For physics, it's in the marquee by the library on the Green Heart. Okay, it's my great pleasure to introduce the student representative who will be giving a speech on behalf of the graduating cohort, and it's Judith Blemire from the School of Physics and Astronomy.
Hi everyone, this is a lot of faces. Fellow graduates, faculty members, friends, family, and those celebrating from afar. Today is a day that I'm sure you'll agree has felt like forever in the making, but equally come round startlingly fast. From being dropped off in Freshers' Week, or taking the plunge into further study, to the last lecture, last assignment, and last exam. Graduates, we made it. Congratulations. For many of us, this will be the end of our formal education. I hope you can use today to reflect on all that you have achieved and that you can be proud that you're sitting here with your peers. Still, there are some of you who I know will be eager for even more. Good luck. To get here has been no mean feat. Living and studying through the pandemic, then navigating the world left in its wake, sitting too many exams to count, moving away from home, and beginning to find your place in the world. I'm sure I won't be the only one who benefited from immense love, help, and encouragement from those who matter most to me. To my mum and dad, thank you very much, and thank you to everyone else in this room who has shown the same encouragement to graduates today. And I promise I haven't just said that to make my dad cry, I really do mean it. Thanks must also go to the staff, both inside and outside of our schools and college. Academic staff, support staff, and postgraduate teaching staff, but also those who have manned the library through all hours, cleaned our campus, and kept the coffee flowing in exam season. I hope you will join me in giving all these amazing people who have played even a small part in us getting here today a round of applause. My 4 years in Birmingham have truly shaped who I am, how I see the world, and how I want to exist within it. From going to the library at 10 p.m, armed with nothing but my laptop and jammy dodgers, to finding my passion for medical physics, while very different experiences have both served as valuable ones. I have grown and learnt many valuable things that I hope we can all take forward as we continue on from today. The first is appreciating the little things. University is full of big achievements, like making it through the first year or submitting your final project, but sometimes the best moments come from the small things. A late-night trip to Little Tesco with your housemates, a phone call to a lecturer about puppies in one of your first lectures, or trying to explain to your nan that old Joe isn't a person, just a clock tower that we're overly affectionate of. Sometimes these are the events that have a lasting positive impact, even when at the time they may seem insignificant. So savour every moment, even the small ones. The second, and those who know me well will be especially surprised to hear this, is that I've begun to embrace the art of going with the flow. And you know what? It's not nearly as bad as I might have thought. It's far too easy to spend all your time planning for every eventuality and trying to make everything go perfectly. But just sometimes, things work themselves out anyway, and you find out something new about somewhere or yourself that you wouldn't have known otherwise. So as we begin to explore what lies beyond today, and maybe it all feels a bit daunting, lean into not having it all figured out just yet. The final thing that has really been cemented over the last 4 years is the need for connection and community. University is so much more than the modules we study or the degree we complete. It's also about the people that we meet, the relationships we forge, and the communities we become part of. Whether you found your place in a society or sport, or you found friends for life in your first-year flatmates, or bonded with course mates over the struggles of thermodynamics, university is not something that you succeed in alone. When things get tough, you need others to pick you up. Leaving our graduating cohorts, and perhaps Birmingham too for many of us, most likely means we'll find ourselves displaced from the communities that we have built. But don't forget the power in finding your people and reaching out when you need help, nor the bonds that you've found here on campus. I hope these reflections of what I'm taking away from today, along with my certificate, might help you to reflect too. Whether you come to similar realizations or not, I'm sure you will find that you carry with you a unique set of lessons, memories, and aspirations. So to us, the class of 2023, congratulations. Let us all have the gratitude to appreciate life's best bits, the courage to embrace the unknown, and the compassion to uplift those around us. Thank you and good luck.
I think once again, thank you very much to Judith, our student speaker. So a big round of applause. Thank you so much. Thank you to Pro Vice-Chancellor Professor Hugh Adlington for his opening speech. And you all started here as graduands. You are now formally, officially graduates. So congratulations. So I've been privileged to be Chancellor of this great university for the past 9 years. I have a long family connection with this university. My mother's father, my grandfather, graduated here in the 1930s. My mother read English and history of art and graduated here in the 1950s. She's 87 years old, and to this day, her best friends are her friends from Birmingham University, all these years later. And her brother, my uncle, completed his PhD here in the 1960s. And here I am as Chancellor of this university. Professor Adlington said this at the beginning, but I want to reinforce the message, and Judith said it as well. You've worked very hard to graduate today, and credit goes to you, and you're going to celebrate. But you could not have done this alone. You've only done this because of your own hard work, combined with the support of your friends, your family, and your wonderful faculty and staff and teachers. So, graduates, could you stand up, please, and give them all a big round of applause? Thank you very much. Thank you. Please be seated. Many of you have graduated today in physics. One day I will never forget is when I joined the House of Lords in 2006. I've been there for 17 years. I was the third youngest peer when I joined the House of Lords, and I'm still one of the younger peers in the House of Lords. And I was asked by one of my heroes, and someone I'm privileged to count as a friend, Professor Martin Rees, the Astronomer Royal, at that time Master of Trinity College, Cambridge, and also President of the Royal Society. And hopefully some of you will have those letters, FRS, after your names one day. And he said, Karan, I need your help. We've got President Abdul Kalam of India, who's coming to receive the King Charles Medal. It's only the second time ever this medal has been given, because it can only be given to a head of state or a former head of state who's a scientist. And the previous recipient had been the Emperor of Japan. He said, I just need your help while he's here with us. And as we were walking around, they'd opened up the exhibits of the Royal Society, including Isaac Newton, the former president of the Royal Society, his papers. It was absolutely amazing. And as we were walking around, I just said to the president, I had met him a few times before, I said, Mr. President, where did it all start for you? And the whole entourage stopped. He said, Karan, it started for me at the age of 11. I went to a local school in Rameshwaram in Tamil Nadu in South India. I came from a very poor family. And I had this brilliant teacher. And one day this teacher, on the blackboard, drew a picture of a bird and explained the concept of flight. And I was mesmerized. I wanted to know more about flight. I wanted to know more about physics. I wanted to know more about science. And he ended up studying science. He ended up being a rocket scientist, a space scientist, heading India's space program, and then became the most popular ever president of India. And it started with one teacher. So don't ever take for granted the amazing teaching you have had and privileged to have here at this university. Now, when you walk out of those doors, you are walking out, but you will never leave this university. This is like Hotel California. You can check out anytime you want, but you can never leave. And on a serious note, you are forever alumni of this university. You're forever part of this family of 300,000 people in just about every country on this planet. Now, if you were graduating from an American university, I remember I became an alumnus of Harvard Business School. The next day I received an email asking me for money. We're not quite so blunt over here, but do give back when you can. But you give back in money, of course, but give back in time, give back in loyalty, give back in being ambassadors for the University of Birmingham forever. If you walk down these corridors, you see this fantastic exhibition of amazing objects that it's fascinating if you go around them. The works of John and Harry Boot, who developed the cavity magnetron, which is a key component of modern radar and the microwave oven. And many said it was the most important invention to come out of the Second World War. This university's had 10 Nobel Prizes. Did you see the number of doctorates today? That shows the amount of research that goes on over here. And I think all the doctors need a huge round of applause. Congratulations to all the doctors. And you know, we research with all around the world with universities. In India, we've got 40 partnerships, research partnerships at any one time, in infectious disease, climate change, poverty alleviation, sustainable development, you name it, we are involved. We've got the Tyseley Energy Park, which is working on creating renewable energy and long-term solutions to fuel poverty, working with the NHS. Do you know, during the pandemic, we were instrumental as a university with the testing that took place around the country, because one of our professors, Alan McNally, is a world expert in testing. I was approached by a testing company, and thanks to his support in the university, we were able to continue the Premier League football season, which had come to a halt, albeit without spectators, because of the testing capabilities of this university, that the football season carried on throughout the pandemic. Last year, we hosted the Commonwealth Games, watched by 1 billion people around the world. And I'm so proud, and I say this with pride, and I'm not exaggerating any of this, Birmingham University played a bigger role in the Commonwealth Games than any university has played in any games, Olympic, Asian, Commonwealth, anywhere in the world ever. We sponsored the baton relay. I was there when Her Majesty the Queen handed over the baton to the first baton relay holder at Buckingham Palace and went all around the world. We were one of the major sponsors of the Commonwealth Games. We hosted hockey and squash on our campus over here. I gave away the squash medals along with Jahangir Khan, the greatest squash player ever to live. We had the Athletes' Village on this campus, and Prince Charles, now His Majesty the King, came and visited the Athletes' Village. And now, this year, we will host the International Blind Sports Federation World Games. I can tell you how proud my three blind peers in the House of Lords, one who joined on the same day as I did, Lord Colin Lowe, former president of the RNIB, Lord David Blunkett, the former Home Secretary, and one of our most accomplished Paralympians, Lord Chris Holmes, will be so proud that those games are going to be taking place here at our university. Keep in touch. Our career service remains open to you. And by the way, we've got one of the best records for getting jobs after graduating. So if you haven't got a job, you'll get a job, guaranteed. The other thing, I don't know if you all noticed how many international students we had graduating today. Every ceremony, we have lots of international students. I'm a former international student. I came over from India to study in this country, as did my mother, my uncle, my grandfather. You know, international students never take them for granted. I chair the all-party parliamentary group on international students in Parliament. They bring in £42 billion a year, so thank you for the money. But far more importantly, the international students enrich the experience of our domestic students, bring in so much to our universities, contribute to our local economies. Their families come and visit, families are over here, and going forward, they become the biggest ambassadors for Great Britain. There are more world leaders who've been educated at British universities than any other country in the world, along with the United States of America. So let's give a big round of applause to our international students. Now, I meant to give you some advice before I close the ceremony. One bit of advice is this. My younger son, I was dropping him to school when he was 17 years old, and suddenly he turned around to me and he said, "Dad, you've got to live as if you're going to die tomorrow." I said, "Josh, what are you saying?" "And Dad, you've got to learn as if you're going to live forever." I said, "Where did you get that?" He said, "Dad, Mahatma Gandhi, of course." The message there is the learning never stops. Keep learning, keep being curious. Learn throughout your lives. I do that, and I've really benefited from it. Be proud that you have graduated from a British university. I was leading a University of Birmingham delegation to India in February, and I spoke at the QS Global Conference, and the QS rankings are the leading university rankings around the world. And you know, with pride I said, 4 out of the top 10 universities in the world are British universities. 5 are American, and 1 is Swiss. And what is the population of America? 330 million, and our population is 67 million. They've got 5, we've got 4. Not bad. And out of the top 100 in the world, this country makes up less than 1% of the world's population. We have 17 out of the top 100, including the University of Birmingham, a Russell Group university, one of the 3 biggest universities in the UK, and one of the best universities in the world. So be proud of graduating from Birmingham University and a British university. My career in Parliament, being a university chancellor, I still run my business, Cobra Beer, that I founded over 3 decades ago. And I learned as an entrepreneur, there's one word that sums up an entrepreneur more than any other word, and it's guts. Have you got the guts to go and do it in the first place? But more importantly, have you got the guts to stick with it when others would give up? And here's the reality, it's going to be tough. There will be challenges the whole time. And my father, who was a senior general in India commanding 350,000 troops, gave me lots of advice, and he said, "Son, the test of a true leader is not in the good times. The test of a true leader is in times of adversity." As you heard from Professor Adlington in the beginning, there are lots of challenges right now. A horrible war, cost of living crisis, inflation. There will always be challenges. It is dealing with them. That's how you'll be defined. And have a vision, aspire and achieve. It'll invariably be against odds. You may have little or no means, but go out there, make it happen. Most importantly, do it with integrity. It is better to fail doing the right thing than to succeed doing the wrong thing. And the other reality is good judgment comes from experience, and experience comes from bad judgment. You're going to make the mistakes. Don't be afraid. Learn from the mistakes and move on. So my final job is to wish you good luck. Now, I could flippantly say good luck, but the best definition of luck that I've ever heard was in the Harvard Business School classroom. Luck is when determination meets opportunity. If you're not determined, you won't even see the opportunity. So be determined, get lucky, good luck, and most importantly, believe in yourselves. My favorite saying of Mahatma Gandhi is, and I'll paraphrase it, because your beliefs become your thoughts become your words become your actions become your habits form your character, and your character determines your destiny. Congratulations, good luck, and all the very best.
Congratulations to our new graduates. The attendees applaud our new graduating class. To close the ceremony, the maces are collected from the stage. The mace bearers lead the procession of staff and new graduates out of the Great Hall. The ceremony that completes the university journey for hundreds of Birmingham alumni is now closed.